it on time. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. Producer Danny, can you send me a message if the audio is okay? Sounds great, Danny says. Okay. So we've got, so the way I did this, I see on YouTube, I see some stats from the live stream. So I'm streaming it to YouTube, and then I posted the YouTube video to Tangled. And I see Aerosol in the chat on YouTube. Now I have the chat open. I also have, there's also a chat on Tangled. And Hooligan's in there, Erickson's in there, Aerosol's in there. If you want to join the chat on Tangled, just send a message to Danny or me, and one of us can add you in. Okay, so I see stats on YouTube. It says my bit rate is lower than recommended. There's not much I can do about that. Aerosol says that he is enjoying the stream with the Lithuanian MRE. Now, I assume that since Aerosol is into bladed weapons, that he has some knowledge of military. And if he does, then MRE stands for meal ready to eat. It's a military ration. Now, I don't know why he would be eating an MRE from Lithuania, but he is. Okay, Bora Urgel says it's alive, it's alive. Danny sent me a picture. So I've got all kinds of things happening on my screens, as I normally do. Danny sent me a picture. He said, I'm streaming you on my big TV at his desk. And he sent me a picture. And it's kind of scary. I'm kind of nervous. Okay. Here's what I was gonna say to start the stream. I was gonna start as the bar as low as possible so that it could only go up from there. So I was going to say two interesting things about Albert Einstein's E equals mc squared. Now, I don't have to do that, but Danny said, producer Danny said that, he says, Price, if you want, you can ask a trivia question on your stream sponsored by Tangled Trivia, and the first person in chat to get the correct answer gets 100,000 millions. Okay, Danny. You send me a trivia question, I'll ask it. What if I know the answer? I guess I shouldn't say it. Danny says I'm wearing a nice shirt. Thanks, Danny. I was gonna wear white pants too, but since this is my first live stream, I thought that white pants might be a horrible idea for obvious reasons. Let me try to turn on. So that's what you guys normally see. And this is hot. Now, I don't have any problem streaming this as long as you guys are willing to bear with me. I've got 2 cans of zesty drinks. I've got all my supplies. I could be in for the day. Okay, producer Danny just sent me a trivia question. You answer this question in the chat. The first person to get the answer gets 100,000 millions. There you go. Crank. I'm wearing pants. Okay, I don't know the answer to this question. Who was the second person to walk on the moon? Now, Neil Armstrong was the first person to walk on the moon. Is this, Danny, is this a trick question? Did anyone actually walk on the moon? Can an American flag wave if there's no wind? Okay. Here's what's hot. Nico Diego. Let me open this up. This is Hump Day and Chill, and she posted this in the chat that we have for the studio content creators. So that reminded me to come in here. The subject on this one is kick-ass movies from the 1960s and 1970s. Now, Nico Diego, in this post, tagged some users that have participated in the past. That's a good idea. Did they also, Nico, you can tag every single subscriber you have, which is almost 200, when you create the post. That's a new feature. Okay. Here's somebody that I blocked for being obnoxious. They're on a 7-day block. From Russia with Love, 63. I'm not into the James Bond movies before maybe, what's the one about gold? I kind of started getting into the James Bond movies with Roger Moore. And I think that the new ones with Roger Craig, those are the absolute best, the best. My favorite one is Skyfall. SJHW, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I haven't watched that. I really am careful about what I watch. Like I'm really sensitive, so I don't watch. So it's about a patient in a mental institution. And that's why I haven't seen it. The Way of the Dragon, Bruce Lee, 1972. The Godfather, 1972. There is, so I've seen that 5 times probably. And I've probably seen Godfather 2 just as many times. Godfather 3 is pretty good too. There's an interesting show that I watched recently on Paramount Plus streaming. It's a series that tells the story of making The Godfather. So it's a show about a story. The Dirty Dozen. I don't know if I've watched that. I probably have. I probably watched that when I was home from school being sick, and whatever was on TV I watched. Bora Ergel says the earth is flat and no one walked on the moon. Producer Danny says 100,000 Millix has been sent to Aerosol. And he said that Aerosol said that he knows that because he has a gold memorial coin. Aerosol, you have a gold memorial coin celebrating the second man that walked on the moon? Amanda says 1966 Persona from Sweden. Definitely haven't seen that. The Battle of Algiers by Shafiullah, 1966. Haven't seen that, but apparently it's kick-ass. Lawrence of Arabia, haven't seen it. That was Mahar Saab. Robert says The Exorcist. I definitely haven't seen that, and I definitely never will. Then this guy says Smokey and the Bandit. That is a kick-ass movie from the 70s. And I was lazy, so this was written by Luna. I said, Luna, tell me about Smokey and the Bandit. And Night Moves, 1975 from Muhsin Nayab. I just looked over and I noticed that I see myself on the camera. That's disturbing. Okay, this is another post by a studio content creator, Todia Soa 590. He also announced this in the group chat for studio. And this one is add a good rap song in the comments to form a playlist. Okay, I did that. Let me see what other people did. Habibi, Smack That by Convicted. Octo, is Octo with us right now? Busta Rhymes, Woo Ha, Got You All in Check. Lil Hooligan, professional musician, studio roster member, Lil Hooligan. He posted I Mean It by G-Eazy. Stellades, Where Is the Love, Black Eyed Peas. I kind of like the Black Eyed Peas. I like Fergie much better. In fact, Fergie might be my favorite female singer. I'm gonna lay that out there and see if that holds up. King 555, Accent, King of the Disco. Of course he wants a song called King. I put in 99 Problems by Jay-Z from 2004. And Hooligan says that I should look up the Linkin Park and Jay-Z version. I'm going to check that one out. It's hard to find the original version of 99 Problems on YouTube. It's the clean version that's the most easy to find, and that one's no good. No good. Danny says that he heard that the Godfather documentary is really good. I think it's really good, but I'm a fan of Godfather. Sandra had no interest in it. None. Saputra wants to add Humble by Kendrick Lamar to the rap playlist. I don't know a lot about Kendrick Lamar. I know that he's a big deal. I know that he does a guest spot on a song that I posted to G/TMV. I don't remember the name of the song. Maybe somebody can find that. It's so the guy who performed the song, he's now a judge on a talent show. His dad was a TV actor in the 80s and 90s, and he had a very long relationship with a woman who is in Mission Impossible, but I don't remember his name. Muhsin Nayab, Eminem, Venom. Nadim Hussein, Pitbull, Reign Over Me. Now, I was just looking for, I was cruising around looking for songs to post to G/TMV, which is not my group. Yes, Robin Thicke. Is that, so Danny says Robin Thicke. Is that the dad or is that the musician? I think that's the musician. I was looking for songs to post to TMV, and I was looking at Imagine Dragons. They have so many hits. I think that Imagine Dragons is, I think that they are the best musical group since 2010. I think that the Foo Fighters are the best musical group in the last 25 years. And I was looking for Flo Rida songs, because he's got great songs. I'm here in Miami, and he has a song with Pitbull, a good song, but it wasn't one of his more popular songs, but that's kind of how I know Pitbull. Ipapotsidus, Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot. Adrian can't join us today. He sent me a message. He says that he's got to take care of some business with his father in Venezuela. He says, Eminem, love the way you lie. Here's more Pitbull, Feel This Movement by Shafi Eula. Bora Urgel. Bora Urgel's in the chat somewhere. Esel, Benem Derdim. Now, I don't know who that is, but I trust Bora Urgel's musical taste. Because, like in January or February, I posted something. I said, it was like an activity. I said, post a really good song, and I'll review the song with my golden ear. And there were two songs. I think there were two songs from Turkey. They were both excellent. And I don't remember the name. I don't remember the song, but I remember that they were both excellent. So I trust Bora Urgel. And Geo MC57, Dr. Dre, Still Dre. He says Dre and Snoop are still ... Now, producer Danny can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not going to play Still Dre, but I think that the signature sound of Still Dre is from my favorite producer, Scott Storch, who had a production company called Tough Jew. And I think, so he was based in Miami, and I think that Danny recorded at Scott Storch's studio. Okay, that's what I know about that. So Danny says that's correct in the chat, but I don't know if there's a leg, so I don't know what... I mean, everything that I say is correct, so he could have been saying that about something 2 minutes ago. I don't know. Aerosol says, slow down with all these unpopular opinions. Danny says, Radiohead and the Strokes over Foo Fighters. The only song from Radiohead that I like doesn't have any lyrics. It is, I believe it is Soundtrack to a Motion Picture. And the only reason I was exposed to it, and the reason that I like it, is because it was used in the HBO series Westworld. And the guy who did the music for Westworld just did a fantastic job. He picked lots of songs. He covered them with piano or orchestra, and that was, to me, that was kind of a sign of endorsement that the song was good. That's how I learned about Kanye. Runaway. Okay, I don't know about the Strokes. When I say that I think the Foo Fighters are the best band in the last 25 years. Part of that, so I love the Foo Fighters, and I really like Dave Grohl. But part of my opinion for that is just the consistency and the volume of work that they've done over those 25 years. I think they've dominated the last 25 years. Danny says he's going to chill chatting. Don't do that, Danny. He also said he did a session with Scott Storch. That's pretty cool. Now, Danny's in the music business, and we own a record label together, L'America, and he knows a lot of people in the music business. And he asked me who the one person that I'd like to meet and hang out with would be from the music business. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. See if you can guess what I said in the chat. See if you can guess. Okay, G/picture this. Name the singer-songwriter. Are these comments still hidden? I did comment on this. They are hidden. They will be visible in 3 hours. That, I always troll these posts. I troll them. And I trolled this one. I said that it's The Crow. It's Brandon Lee from The Crow. I don't know, maybe it's Trent Reznor. Boris says that I want to meet Fergie. However much I want to meet Fergie, multiply that by 1,000,000, and that's how much Sandra won't allow me to meet Fergie. Okay. Here is Erickson talking about Crypto Crush. I think that there is a new app, might be coming out today. It's a simple app. Maybe if you guys hang around long enough, I will show you the roadmap for the apps that we're building. Maybe somebody would care about that. Counting Crows, Aerosol, is that because I did a cover song of Counting Crows' Long December? I have no particular interest in meeting the Counting Crows. The Roaring Twenties. I don't know much about the Roaring Twenties. I know Al Capone, Prohibition, Great Depression. I think that this woman in the GIF here might be what's known as a flagpole sitta, which is the title of a song by PJ Harvey. Great. I don't know if that's the right song. Great song. Very good song. G/TMV. What do the two previous music videos posted on G/TMV have in common? Let me look. Now I posted to G/TMV the other day. I posted a YouTube video and I got yelled at by TMV for not posting a native video on Tangled. I'm always getting yelled at. Okay, Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me. I know that song. I know a lot about that song. And LMFAO. I don't know much about that song. Are those the two songs? Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me. What I know about that is Rockwell. So it's a one-hit wonder. And Rockwell's dad was an executive at Motown. I think Motown Records. And he didn't want to use his full name, because he didn't want anyone to know that. The other thing about Somebody's Watching Me is that it features Michael Jackson. And now you probably know why they were able to convince Michael Jackson to do an appearance on that. The other thing about Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me, is that it was featured in Miami Vice. It was a scene in a strip club with tubs. Okay? Now, that's what I know about Rockwell, but I don't know anything about LMFAO, featuring Little John. Okay? The artist that I would most want to meet, I told Danny this. I said, Riff Raff. Riff Raff! I think that he is an interesting person, which is the most important criteria for somebody that you want to meet and spend time with. I think that if you wanted to populate Mars with a handful of humans that would form an interesting society, Riff Raff would be on the short list. Let's see what's top earnings. Oh, this was cool. Todi Soa 590, are you with us? Are you watching? Check this out. He's got tricks. Wait for it. So good. So good. I tipped that 1,000,000, I think. Now this is called close-up magic or table magic. And this is my favorite type of magic. I also like street magic, but all those three things, what they have in common is I was exposed to it by David Blaine, he came out with a TV show called, I think it was called Street Magic, and it just blew me away. Love David Blaine. There's a show. Let me just find this. Let's see how far off topic. You know what happens if I go to YouTube? Do I get blown up for copyright? Trying to find the name. Shin Lim. Shin Lim is a magician out of Boston, and he was on Penn and Teller Fool Us, and he did close-up magic, and that is the greatest magic routine I've ever seen. I've watched it 20 times. I love Shin Lim. He kind of, I think that he kind of modernized close-up magic. Crypto Guide. Now, I've struggled with these. And I told him, I said, I've struggled with these. And he's like, sorry. I'm going to keep doing them. The answers, there's 3 answers, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. And you have to select one of those answers and then tell the question, I think. That's how it used to work. Pick up an answer, go now. Here's one of his previous ones. How many ghosts chase Pac-Man at the start of each game? Answer 4. Congratulations to @Lomnicki, @Siamus, and @Emmanuel Olu. They seem to have gotten that one right. Here is Octo as G/BTC Knowledge, posting about Rapmilix trading on P2B. And let me tell you about that in a second. Let me look. There's nothing going on in the chat. You guys are falling asleep over there. So Octo is in a private group chat with Tantelli. I know that Erickson's in there. There's a handful of people in there, and they're all traders, and they're all talking about trading Rapmilix on P2B. And I think that there were some complaints among that group that there were bots trading on P2B, and that was making what they said was it was making it difficult for them to achieve their trading objectives. And I think that in general, their trading objectives are to accumulate and to hold. Now, I think that Octo is a real experienced trader. And so I'm not sure exactly what his objectives are, but I know that whatever they are, he's good at it. And it's true, the Milix Foundation, there is a bot that runs on P2B that does trades. There is a variety of bots on there. And there's still one running in there. And what it's doing, so there's a spread. There's a difference between the lowest ask and the highest bid. The distance between those is called the spread. And this bot basically trades with itself within that spread. And it only trades about, I don't know, maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a day. And that's not because we're trying to generate fake volume. It's not that at all. It's because when your coin gets listed on P2B, they have a minimum daily trading volume requirement that you have to meet every day, or else they delist the coin. So that's why that's there. It's a requirement of them. So that's why that works that way. Somebody else while we're talking about this, somebody else had asked, what's it going to take to get onto one of the top 5 central exchanges? And there's 2 answers to that. One is, for some of them, and maybe I'm talking about the top 10 more than the top 5 when I say this, but they charge you money. So you got to pay $100,000. It could be $250,000 to get listed. And that's something that now the foundation is in charge of that, and that's something that they weren't interested in doing. Because there's no, as long as you're on one centralized exchange, I don't know how much value there is in being on 2 or 3 or 4. It just adds that many more markets that you have to monitor and have liquidity on, and you're looking for arbitrage happening. It'll be cool when that happens, but it's not something at this moment that they're willing to spend a bunch of money to do. Now, the second reason, the better reason that you get listed on a top 5 centralized exchange like Binance or Coinbase is if you can demonstrate a track record of volume on some other exchange. Because they want to make their users happy, but they also want to make their commissions from the trades. So if you're only trading $10,000 a day, they look at that and they see $100 or $200 of revenue, and they're not that interested. Okay. Producer Danny sent me a note. He sent me the answer to TMV. Is this something that I'm supposed to broadcast on a live stream to an audience of potentially 12 people? Florian G is in the YouTube chat. Florian, put your Tangled username so we know who we're talking to. Apparently I'm not supposed to say. Oh, but it looks like I gave you a good clue. I gave you a good clue when I told you everything that I know about Rockwell. Somebody's watching me. There you go. Here is Seattle John saying aloha from Maui. Now, Seattle John is a captain in the Salvation Army, and he is based out of Seattle. And they do all kinds of great things to help the community. So they have thrift stores where you can donate your old clothes or household goods, and then they sell them for a low price to people that need that stuff. They have spiritual and religious support at centers around the country, or maybe around the world, and they do addiction treatment and things like that. They also do emergency crisis response, and that's what Captain John here was sent out to Maui to take care of. So he was sent out to lead the effort, or to set up the beginnings of the effort to help the people of Lahaina, Maui. Thanks, Aerosol. I guess I could have figured that out. That's my bad. Florian G has their username on Tangled is cryptic at Florian G. Okay. The Capo de Copy, Rajni. He says the Support Millix activity is over now. How many people participated in this? So this was an activity where you made a video of yourself drawing the Millix logo. I don't know how many of those I saw. I probably, 22 people. Well done. Very good. Now that's the type of activity. This is the type of post that you'd want to tag all your subscribers on to get the maximum exposure. Here is Time Fungus. Now, answer in the chat. Aerosol, is Time Fungus part of your crew? Is this part of the Germany crew? Time Fungus posts great animations, just really good animations. In fact, I've seen so many of their animations that I liked that in the back of my mind, what happens is I start to ask myself, what could we hire this guy to do? You know, that's kind of where I always where my mind always goes. Aerosol says maybe. So that is a tight crew, possibly. They don't talk about who does or may not belong to the crew. Now that reminds me. At the golf course that I belong to in the mountains, when I go there in the summer, I play golf at least 6 times a week. And, you know, I'm a social guy. I'm very nice to everybody. I may also be a little modest. I'm an introvert, right? So I don't like to talk about myself. If somebody asks a question, I answer the question, but I keep the answer short. So they have some idea of what I do, and but there's a lot of mystery surrounding it. They don't know if I'm secretly running Hollywood or Wall Street, or they have no idea. And there's kind of a legend. The legend always grows around me at the country club. And one day, a couple weeks ago, somebody asked me, they said, we think, some of us think that maybe you run the mafia, that you're involved in the mafia. And I gave a very quick answer, but it turned out to be just a delicious response. My response was, there's no such thing as the mafia. And it just drove them crazy. They just ate it up. They loved it, because that is what every mafia guy says when you ask about the mafia. And that's why the legend grows. Okay, Hattie Hats. Hattie Hats is, he's been publishing, I think he's published 2 articles in the last week or so. And he posts them on a couple of different sites. He is announcing that there's a new article coming out. He's going to have it done this week. It's about a new crypto blogging platform that he has found. Now, would you guys in chat, producer Danny, would you consider On the Node to be a crypto blogging platform? Is that how you would describe that? Are those the right words? Is Hattie Hats preparing an article about On the Node? Todi Soa, will this post reach 100,000 millets? Answer, yes, it did. Now that reminds me, I am going to shout out at Bora Urgel again. Why did he do this? He made a premium post. I don't remember exactly why this happened, but he made a premium post that you had to pay to unlock, which I did, and a lot of other people did too. And the post said, hey guys, there's a bug with Tangled. I'm sure of it. I'm convinced that the comments and reactions are broken, they don't work. That's all he said. And then of course, everyone's response to that is to try it on his post. So here come the likes, here come the comments, and he gets all his money back for the premium post. Well done, well played. King555 is announcing the Badgers. I'll tell you guys what, it's, I normally don't announce when the Badgers 10X runs. It's running right now. I just turned it on. Okay, live stream special. It's a 10X. And that means that if you have a badge, pink, gray, or blue, every time you react to content, tips, comments, likes, there is a chance that you're going to get 10 times your money back. And that is what is being shown in the screenshot by King555. Now, Aerosol, Aerosol, I think, just jumped on the 10X. it might take 60 seconds from the time that I say it's live to the time that it's actually working. Oh God, Bora Urgel's in the chat. Now he knows that the 10X, he's gonna assemble the Badgers. Here's more 10X. New challenge from Metal Pack. Okay, Danny describes On the Node as a community-driven article site that pays users in crypto for their contributions. Aerosol says, exactly, leave him wanting more. I think that is, he's talking about there's no such thing as the mafia. And that's exactly what he said when I asked him to describe the roster of his mafia. He said there's no such thing. Guess which of these people is number 666 on my subscriber list saved today? I don't know how I would even do that. How would I do that? I don't think there's an easy way. I think that's a pretty good guessing game. Now, I could figure that out more than anyone else, but I don't know how you would figure that out. It's a guessing game. Sileli, hello. I'm new here. What interesting stuff can I find here? You can find a live stream of a guy who is completely unqualified to live stream. And you can find an emoji of a waving hand from me. You know, if I see somebody posts, so Riazali is a good user, and I don't block Riazali, but videos, this is a video, it's kind of a video of people suffering or animals suffering, and I really don't like those. So if I see somebody do too many of those, then I shut those off for myself. And by the way, I don't know why. So I've given animals injections. I've given myself injections, and you can't feel it. If you're good at it, you can't feel it. So I don't know why these animals are reacting like that. What else can I look at? Somebody in chat, tell me something. Hi, Saputra. Somebody tell me in chat what to look at. Oh. Here's something. I'm sick and bored. This is a new song by Lil Hooligan on Wavell. Let's play that for a little while. Lil Hooligan. Are you in the chat, Lil Hooli? Let me see if he's in this chat.
She's just an easy lane. It's automatic how we had it, yeah, we gotta play. And so I wrote this song, we never get along. She's causing static, she's erratic, all I gotta say. Yo, when I try to kiss it, chick is hard. I'm digging it's hard, cause I'm sick and I'm bored. Yo, when I try to kiss it, chick is hard. I'm digging it's hard. There's nothing I can do. I'm not in love with you. You're just a crazy listen lady. You got attitude.
There's nothing you can do. He's not in love with you. This is Wavell.com. This is the visualizer on Wavell.com, which was inspired, of course, by, like all other great inventions of technology, the Atari Jaguar. Okay. Now I don't know if Lil Hooligan is still working on that song. I think I've heard a couple versions of "Sick and On Board." I don't know. Lil Hooligan, say in the chat. Is this the production version, or are you still working it out? At Emmanuel is disappointed that I'm not wearing shorts. I dressed up, Emmanuel. Joseph Doyle says John Dillinger, Gangster 1920. Is that a movie? That's a real person from 1920. Erickson says Price, try to beat my score at Crypto Crush. It's fantastic. Oh, Bora Ergel, why are you mentioning hashtag Elder? Yeah, he's mentioning hashtag ElderTech because of the Jaguar, the Atari Jaguar, which is a gaming console safely protected behind velvet ropes in a special room in a separate wing with heightened security at the Danny compound. Now, I think that at Danny, he has started a conversation with the elders of his city. He might be talking to the mayor. He might be talking to the city council. I think that he is trying to get permission, a conditional use permit, to have paying customers come to his house and admire the Atari Jaguar. Good luck with that, Danny. Producer Danny. Hey guys, is the 10X working? I see Aerosol going nuts with the tips. Let's see. What can I say about top earners? Now, on a live stream like this, I wouldn't mind going off to some other site and reacting to what I see on some other site. I don't know how that works with copyright. Is that something I can do? You're gonna shut me down? Todi Soa 590. He announced earlier today that this is the very first time that he has been the #1 earner on Tangle.com. He's a top earner. He's the top earner. And I've mentioned before, that is not easy to do. Every person on this list wants to be in that spot. And it updates all the time. Now, I have a report here that tells me that in the last 24 hours, there have been 1,524 people that logged into Tangled.com. Now, I don't think that counts people who log in and stay logged in. So Todi Soa is competing against a couple thousand people. He did it. What else can I tell you? Right now there's 286 people online. Here, I'll show you this. This could get me banned from Google. There's a real-time look. Now this is Google Analytics. And this is not the most accurate way that we look at traffic. That number that I just gave you, what was it? 279. There's some controversy about what number is more accurate, but that number says 279, and that's right now. That's real time. So Google is saying that in the last 30 minutes, there are 189. Now, the reason that there's some controversy behind that is because I think that if you're on Tangled and you're not active for some number of minutes, they stop counting you. So it's somewhere between 189 and 279. So top traffic sources: Google, fiatleak.com, Twitter, Facebook, TimeBucks, and YouTube. And most of the people are on home, and then on what's new. And then you can tell when you look at this. So you see at Arash Shahbasi and at Enrique. I think Enrique's in the chat right now. Or at least he's watching the stream. Say something, Enrique. It looks like this when somebody is sharing a post outside of Tangled, and people are clicking the post and coming in. That's what that looks like. That's it. That's what's interesting about that. Let's look at engagement. So this is June 1 to October 4. Okay, this is engagement. So a couple interesting things about this. The average time that people spend on Tangled is very high. 17 minutes is very high. You do in fact, let me just look right here. Let's see. There you go. Look at this. So we are 17 minutes. This result says that the top is Twitter. The average session is 4 minutes. Instagram is 3 minutes. Telegram is 2.5 minutes. Google Hangouts 2.5 minutes. So we are 4 times that. And I think I don't know exactly what the reason for that is. I think that there's something different about Tangled because every single engagement, every single activity and action has economic value. It triggers something different in your mind than just scrolling through a feed on Instagram. That when you scroll through a feed on Instagram, you're probably getting dopamine hits. When you're scrolling Twitter, you're probably getting confirmation bias. That's another type of hit. But what we're doing, I think we're engaging a different part of the mind than the other sites. So it's everything that they have plus that additional aspect. So I think that's one of the reasons why our engagement's so high. Now this graph on the right, you can never see my mouse when I'm doing OBS. Okay, so on the right you see page views. These are page views. And so on June 1st, we had 19,000 page views in a day. So this graph isn't very exciting. Like the slope isn't very exciting. The curve's not very exciting. It doesn't look like it's an exponential kick. But you're going from 19,000 a day here to 52,000 in a day 4 months later. So it doesn't look fantastic, but it is pretty fantastic. It's 2.5x in 4 months. That's what we like to see. What else? Is there anything? I don't understand. I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use this. So I ignore it. Hey, Enrique. So Enrique is a super affiliate. Super affiliate. And you know how you guys can tell that? You know that because you can look at his number of subscribers. I'll show you. So every single time you share your affiliate link and somebody uses it, where is mine? Do I have one? When somebody signs up with your link, it could be from your content or your join link, they automatically are added as a subscriber to you. And this is what happens when you're a super affiliate. That's what happens. Now, I don't know how many, so he's got 17,000 subscribers. And I don't know how many of those are the result of affiliate activity, but it's probably 16,500. I don't know. It's crazy. He is killing it. He is also popular because he was a Tangle Tournament judge. That added to his popularity. He's a Millet supporter. He is a Tangle Titan at the 3 million Millets level. He's a Christian. He believes. And he is a Bitcoin fan. Now, he's also got, he verified his account with his Twitter account, SysComics3D. Now, let me just mention something about these verifications like this. So you can verify with Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are the 4 ways you can get a silver badge. And now, I don't think any other platform verifies this way, and I really like that we do it this way because it's transparent. So Enrique, of course, is a very valued user. He's a legit user. He's got enhanced verification. But not everybody that verifies with a silver badge has a pink badge. And so how do you know whether they're real or fake? Well, these silver badges, it's not us proving to you that they're real. That's not what it is. It's almost the opposite of that. It's the user proving to you that they're not real. Right? Because a lot of times you'll follow these links to Twitter, YouTube, whatever, Instagram, and you'll see that it's a brand new account, they have no subscribers, and they've never posted any content. They've just proven to you that that verification is meaningless. It's useful information, even though it's not proving a positive. Enrique says, thanks for the shout out. Like, comment, subscribe. Co-producer Erickson. Danny, as producer, can you get this guy under control? At Price, are you going to spin the wheel to reward the viewers? That would be a good idea. It's work. It's work that I'm willing to do. Damn it, Erickson. All right, if you are one of the potentially millions of people watching this live stream, say something in the chat so I'll add you to this wheel spin. I'm going to start typing. Enrique. Bora Ergel. And by the way, be sure to tell me what your Tangled username is too. And, you know, if your YouTube username is Loverboy Saputra, there is a story that involves producer Danny and someone's social media username that I cannot repeat, but it is the most hilarious thing with the saddest ending that I've ever heard. Aerosol. Who else? Danny gets on the wheel. Maybe Danny will tell you that story. I don't know if he tells it as well as I do, because he's probably a little ashamed. It is not family friendly. The username was not family friendly. Rajni is in the chat. I'm just scrolling up the chat. You know, Erickson, you know what would be really helpful, Erickson, is if you gave me a list. Crank is in the chat. I think that Adrian is probably in the chat. Can't be sure, but I think he is. Okay, that's the YouTube chat. GeoMC57, oh my god. GeoMC57 is among us. GeoMC57, what time is it in Thailand? And what's the current weather conditions? I'm hoping for thunderstorms. Okay, Mutren. Look at this. Aerosol is so much more useful to have around than Dr. Erickson. Mutren. Joseph Doyle. Joseph Doyle is part of the SFI crew run by GeoMC57. And GeoMC57 is on-the-ground reporter in Thailand. And breaking news. Breaking news. Currently it is 10:01 p.m. and it's raining and raining hard. Okay, I've only got 12 names. Here's what I've got. Enrique, Bora Urgel, Saputra, Aerosol, Danny, Florian, is it Florian or Florian G? Rajni, Crank, Adrian, GeoMC57, Mutren, and Joseph Doyle. Okay, I'm going to set up the wheel right now. And while I'm doing that, you guys, all of you guys, take the opportunity to make all your complaints, all your feature suggestions, everything you want to say to Crank, Erickson, and Danny. They are my frontline defense against all the suggestions and complaints. Here we go. Now there is going to be a new app added today. I don't see it yet. It is a simple app, as I mentioned. It shows you the price, like a chart of Rat Millix, and it has a button to sign up on P2B to start trading. How much does the winner get? Well, you know what? I thought when I asked that, maybe I'd see a flood of chat messages. Okay, so since there's 12 names, it's going to be 12 million total. So it's going to be 4, 3. Oops. Two, and then 3 of these. Enrique says he's really interested in that chart app for Rat Millix. Crank and Erickson, launch it. Yeah, Aerosol. So you'll see. If I show you the app roadmap, live streaming is one of the items on there, and the intention is that you can have multiple cameras, multiple voices in the same chat, in the same live stream, plus text chat there as well. And before I spin the wheel here, I'll take the opportunity. The way that we figure out which app to do next is we estimate how much work it is to do the app, and we estimate how much people will care, kind of 1 to 10 on both of those. And then we just multiply those two numbers together, and whichever one has the lowest number, that's the one we do next. So something like GeoMC57, I am reporting to you now that we have the same conditions in Miami Beach that you're currently experiencing in Thailand. You and I are in harmony right now. So something like Livestream, most of the work has been done, and it was done months ago. There's not much left to do. You know, one of the other considerations when we talk about how hard something is, it's how many different team members are required to pull it all together. And if the person that's building the app doesn't need any help from the people that are building the site or anything else, then the effort's considered lower. So I think, so based on that, Livestream will launch fastest if it's done as an app, not as a built-in feature on the site. We can do it faster that way. About the question, who will care? You know, this live stream that we're doing right now, this is kind of a test to see if people care about watching a live stream. Now, Hooligan he's probably done 5 live streams, and they went pretty well. So we know that there's some interest. I think that our main concern about the question, will they care, is how many users do you think will step up and do a live stream? Is it 2? Is it 10? You have to have a good number of content creators doing live stream for the is it worth it to pay out? Because you're measuring the audience, not the content creators, but to have a big audience, you have to have a variety of creators. So that's how that works. That's how we figure out what to do next. So the app that I mentioned, the Ratmilk's price chart, that's an effort 1. We're taking a widget from CoinGecko that's already built, and we're just putting it in a frame, and that's the app. So that's going to happen next. Do I have to do this one by one? I'm going to take the commas out of here. Oh, let's try it a different way. At least 3 people on this live stream are freaking out right now. And one of them's Erickson. Okay, so I'm going to hold off on that live stream. Oh, okay. He told me he told me what's wrong. You know what? When that camera turns on and those lights are shining bright and there's potentially hundreds of millions of people watching you, you just lose your sense of everything. Thank you, co-producer Erickson. Okay, 12 million prize, 60,000 to spin the wheel. Here we go. And into the pages of history. You know what? Okay, Aerosol, I'll give Florian G a tip after this. But Aerosol, that is karma right there. That is karma. Good karma by you. Check this chat. It's Florian G. Okay. Price, you are missing the @ in the username. All right. Was useful information? Oh, good job, Aerosol. Adrian wins 3 millones. Is that how you say it in Spanish? I don't know. I just barely speak Portuguese. Joseph Doyle gets 2 million. Now I have to point out, I just received an urgent communique from producer Danny. This is the most important thing that he wants me to know right now. In Miami, at this very moment, it is 11:11. That's the time. 11:11. And it will be for 20 more seconds, not counting the latency. Now I told you guys in a comment somewhere that it was in a chat for the studio folks. 11:11 is Danny's magic number. I think that he has a tattoo, 11:11. It is his 404. And I think that in some way is why the Tangled Tournament 4 will start on November 11. 11/11. Judge Enrique picks up an extra million. You know, that guy makes, he's made millions just while I've been on this live stream. So Putra says that if I broadcast on TikTok, there will be more viewers. And Adrian says yes. Well, that could be true, but is it true if I have 0 subscribers on TikTok? Is it true if I don't even have an account on TikTok? Karma again. So Putra makes a valuable suggestion and shortly thereafter picks up 1 million. And then GeoMC57 congratulates everybody in the chat and shortly thereafter picks up an extra 1 million. Now I'm going to say something about GeoMC57 that I've already said a dozen times in my daily videos, but that maybe not everyone has heard. There are a lot of people on Tangle.com that make a lot of posts with a lot of referral links and affiliate links and how to earn money on the internet. And I'd say it's all trash. Total trash. I'm thinking to see if I agree with what I just said. First of all, the people that do it, they are not good at it. I mean, you can do it and make money and do it well. And the people that I see doing it on Tangled are not good at it. And that's a bit unfortunate because, you know, I was a big affiliate marketer, big. Top 10 in the country. Tangle.com was largely built with that type of activity, that type of business in mind. It's built for running your business. It's built to promote your business. There's no algorithm. You can tag all your users. You can promote your posts. It'll be seen by everybody. It's for affiliate marketers. Now, everything that I said about the people who I see posting referral links and affiliate links and how to make money online, none of those things apply to Geo MC57. None. None. He is doing the same thing that they're doing, but he's good at it. He's good at it. And not only is he good at it, so you could just watch what he does and you could get better at it. You could make money online watching what he does. But he goes one step further. He takes a lot of his own time to teach you how to get good at it. And I watch those videos, and I am a qualified and expert audience, and I agree with what he says. He knows what he's talking about, okay? So there's another shout out for Geo MC57. The last time I did one of those, he cut the video into a clip and posted it all over the internet. Okay? Celebrity endorsement. Oh my God. You know, if I had spun this wheel and producer Danny had won the prize at 11:11, both he and I would run down the hall, ignore our umbrellas, possibly forget our shoes and maybe our pants, run through the front door, out into the streets, waving our arms, and buying lottery tickets. I don't know. Okay, there you go, Erickson. I think that's it. Is that it? Ooh. Copper they copy. At Rajni, boss of bosses in the Pakistan cartel. Big winner. Million. Is that it? How many of these are there? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Congratulations, Mutrin, but your prize is 0. Okay, what else is going on? I have been online for 1 hour and 18 minutes. Now, if you had asked me any time in my life, will I ever do a live stream? The answer would be no. And the answer would have been exactly the same if you'd asked me when I woke up this morning. I didn't have a plan to do this. I just thought, I wonder if that's possible. Turns out it might be. Yes, Geo MC57, there is the Pakistan Mafia, Pakistan cartel, head by Rajni. Now, everything I said about Mafia, which doesn't exist, before on this live stream, is true of the Pakistan cartel. They don't recognize. Now, sometimes Rajni will give you a little wink if you talk to him about the Pakistan Mafia. But the rest of the soldiers, the captains and the soldiers, they follow the rule of silence. Omerta. Silence. They don't recognize, they don't talk about whatever's going on in the Pakistan cartel. Okay, can I see anything interesting in what's new? If you guys, SJHW, good morning, and possibly good morning again. You just missed the wheel spin, SJHW. Now, SJHW, I would vote, if we had polls, if polls were a feature of Tangle.com, coming soon, and there was a vote, who would you like to see live streaming? I would vote SJHW very high on that list. And right now he's freaking out, and he did not expect to hear that. But it's the truth. Wow. Jerry R. MHD. He just congratulated the wheel spin that just happened. Jerry R. MHD, are you in the chat somewhere? Because were you added to the wheel spin? Look at this. Well, yeah, Aerosol could be a piano live stream, but it could also be a saxophone live stream. Or it could also be a piano, saxophone, plus father of the saxophone player, guitar player live stream. Those are all possible. It could also be an impersonation of Jarvis from Iron Man reading anything. Here's somebody that I don't think I subscribe to. Joined 9 minutes ago. MD Sazad 9214 and his buddies with a Puma shirt. Now we don't know where they are. We don't know where they are. We might find that out soon. So he's going to get a hand wave. That's kind of become my low effort, hello, welcome, yada, yada, yada. No, I don't like these. What do you guys think? Should these things be marked 18 plus? They're really getting close to the line of gore. Yeah, I'm going to say it in an open and conversational way. FTG. Oh, FTG. So FTG is Crypto Guide, I believe. And he says that he thinks that they are from Bangladesh. How does he think that? On the Node Insights. Now this is a hype. This is a group that hypes On the Node. And I don't know what On the Node thinks about this. I also don't think there's much they can do about this. And I think that this is pretty cool. I think that all the attention you can get is good. Aerosol agrees with me. He says, yeah, we don't need gore posters for gatekeeping. I don't know what gatekeeping is, and I've never heard of gore posters, but I think I know what both of those mean, and I think I want them both 18 plus. Cash flow. I have previously blocked this user, but he's not blocked right now. And he says, congratulate me by liking. He's been on Tangle for 2 months, and here are his results. And those results are, I believe, I'm guessing. So normally you would have to guess that that's either Greek, Ukrainian, or Russian. I think those are the 3 languages that have Cyrillic. But based on his Ukraine flag, I'm guessing it's Ukrainian. Now, cash flow, if you want to talk to somebody, a fellow Ukrainian, I think you might know that @Crank is a Ukrainian. And @Dima is a Ukrainian. And other people that I'm probably not authorized to shout out. Saputra says that TikTok is going crazy. Well, why doesn't somebody take this post and share it on TikTok? Because God knows I'm not able to do that. Salsa Reina. Now, Salsa Reina, those 2 words, salsa is salsa. That's food stuff. Reina, or in Portuguese I think it would be Reina, is queen. So she is the salsa queen. You know, I just saw who was right next below this post, and it's a perfect example. I did not plan this. But you guys, you can change this like I did on mine. It's got capital letters, it's got a space. You don't have to, you can make this more interesting. And the most interesting one of all belongs to Todisoa590, who does something more interesting than I even thought was possible. Now, we know that, so here's Todisoa 590. You're welcome, Saputra. Here's Todisoa 590, and we know a few things about Todisoa. One, he looks like that. Two, he is Pink Badger, which means he's done high quality things. Or he's my cousin. But in this case, he is not my cousin. And we know that he has posted music, his original music, to Wavell.com. We know that. And the reason I mention that is because when I see this picture, I'm looking at the screen to find out maybe what he's doing. And what he's doing is editing music. So this is a behind-the-scene looks into Studio Todisoa 590. Now, like most studios, there is a window in the room. And on the other side of that window could be a vocal booth where Lady Gaga is doing a guest appearance on one of his new singles. We don't know. But that's Todisoa in the Studio Todisoa for G/Studio. Oh, Geo MC57. He announced the wheel spin. You see how good he is? Look at this. He mentioned this to all his subscribers in the post. 346. Now, I think, so I'm going to say something, and I hope that more than anyone else, Geo MC57 appreciates what I say and agrees with what I say. Here it is. This ability, what he did here, tagging all their subscribers in this post. Okay, it looks like this. When you create a new post, you check this box, and it says, mention all your subscribers. Okay? I think that feature is the most powerful feature ever to hit social media. That's what I think. That's what I think. Think about all the features that have come on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, you name it. I think that this is the most powerful feature ever on social media, because every other social media platform, and I have been the victim of this in a huge scale. You do all the work to attract subscribers, which definitely involves time and often involves money. And then you post something attempting to reach your subscribers, and the algorithm on the platforms decides who's going to see it and mostly who's not going to see it. So if you have 100,000 subscribers on one of the big social media platforms, and you do a post, I'm making this up, but I don't know this to be true, but I would say if 2,000 of the 100,000 see that post, you won, you beat the algorithm. And it's a stupid game to have to play. Horrible game. So not only on Tangled is there no algorithm that decides what will be presented to you, but by tagging every single user, you're going from a passive presentation to everyone who happens to be online to an active notification of everybody who isn't necessarily even online, right? That's why it's the most powerful feature. If social media, if the core feature is reach, having your voice heard, this is the most powerful feature ever introduced to social media. That's what I think about that. I like these. I don't know who this is, G/Absolute Units, but I like these. I can't even explain to you what this content is, but it's like big versions of many things. Enrique says, okay, so when I'm talking about that, mention all my subscribers. Another very interesting feature, it costs 1,500 Milix for every single person that you tag. Okay? So that's some friction. And friction is good when a platform is otherwise free of filters. Okay? Friction is the filter. The interesting thing about that 1,500 Milix that it costs you to tag them is that it is paid to them, not to Tangled, to your subscribers. So, okay, maybe they're a little bothered because you tagged them for a post that they're not interested in, but at least they just got paid 1,500 Milix. And I mention that because Enrique just said in the chat, it's going to cost him 25 million Milix to click that box. He says he needs a special discount. No discounts. You pay the 25 million, and I don't know how long it will take for the system to process 17,000 user tags, but you're welcome to find out. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think the hard stuff's going to come down for a while. So this is a scene from earlier this evening of the weather conditions in Thailand, and he made a special point to mention in the post that it is raining hard. It's raining hard. And we occasionally get a downpour like that in Miami. We definitely got downpours like that in Brazil. Love it. Loved it. Okay, I'm going to mention, just because GeoMC57 mentioned in the chat. So what I said about the when on the other social media platforms, when you post something, what percentage of your subscribers actually see it? And I guessed, what did I guess? 2%, 4%? I probably said 2%. I don't know. GeoMC57 says he measures that. That he takes the time to measure that. He tracks it on spreadsheets. He knows exactly what it is. And he says that on Tangled, it is 33%. So when he posts something, how many, I don't know how many subscribers he has, but if he has 500 subscribers, then 150, 160 would see it. And he said that is almost 10 times better than any other social media platform. And you should take that to mean that you should do what he does. Or you could take it to mean that I'm right, that it's the most powerful feature ever invented for social media. Okay. Adayem E. Hanatics. I know I butchered that one. They love it here. You know, I don't know what to think about posts like this. I think that some people are encouraged to join and say something, anything, and a lot of them say something like that, and they never come back. So I don't get engaged too much in those. I wait to see if they post again. Here's Saputra, the beauty of Sabang Island. Is this a recent video? Look at that. It's Saputra and friend. Now, what are they doing? Now, the fact that they're in shallow water, looks like shallow water, and they have life jackets on. Oh, well, okay, she's got a snorkel outfit on. So they are doing some skin diving. Be careful of sharks and maybe snakes. Ooh, Jerry R. MHD, thanks for the shout out. Live stream with Price. It's going down for real. How much longer do you guys want me to do this? On the Node Insights, sports. You know what? Since I got nothing to lose at this point, I'm going to go to one of my news sites. I'm going to see what's going on in the news. And if YouTube wants to shut me down, Tell the world my story. Israel actively fighting a secondary front on the northern border with Hezbollah. I don't know what to say about that. I don't like war. A lot of people are suffering, and I don't. If you want to talk about kind of who's at fault here and who started all this and who's to blame, I think you probably have to. If you're willing to have the conversation, I think that conversation is going to go back thousands of years. That's a hard conversation to have. So I hope that that things get resolved for everybody in Palestine, Gaza, Israel, Lebanon, Syria, as peacefully as possible. But when I think about this, I'm thinking about it in kind of what is going to happen next. Now, there's a lot of clickbait. I see a lot of clickbait about World War III. And I don't think that that's what this is. I think that World War III would be, 3 orders of escalation removed from what's happening right now. I think so. What I want, I watch economic markets. I watch the macro, and to me, the thing to watch here is the price of oil. This thing spreads, the price of oil goes up, and when the price of oil goes up, the price of everything goes up. That's inflation. Well, the central banks are dealing out as much pain as they think that the economy can handle by raising interest rates, and they're doing that to fight inflation. And they're going to do that until something breaks. And we don't know what nobody knows what'll break, but something will break. We had some regional banks break in earlier this year, and so you've got this. If the price of oil goes up, inflation goes up, and if the central banks react to that by fighting inflation more than they are and raising rates even further and faster, then something bigger will break sooner. Okay, and so just kind of stepping back even further, in 2020 when the pandemic started and all the shutdowns and lockdowns happened, economies were closed. My reaction to that was that somebody said, "What do I think is going to happen?" And my answer was, what's going to happen is the big show. The big show is what's going to happen. And when I say the big show, I am talking about World War, right? That's what I think is going to happen. Because the global economy as a whole and country by country runs on a razor thin edge. It doesn't take much to push it over. And shutting down the economy for however long it was shut down is more than any country or the global economy can handle. So when there's economic pressure and suffering, and you've got a standing military sitting there costing you money, I think there's an argument to be made that it'll be used. And so now we've got the big show in Ukraine, we've got the big show in the Middle East, and China would be next. So that's what I think about all that. IMF warns that inflation is going to stay high until 2025. That means higher for longer. That means rates will be higher for longer. Real estate crashes, bonds crash, banks fail. That's what all those things mean. Now, I want to know what happens with crypto as a result of all this. These headlines and the responses that these headlines are triggering from the central banks, that's what Bitcoin was invented for. So, I mean, there's pain along the way. I mean, we're stuck in crypto winter for over a year, almost 2 years now. But I'm just waiting for any moment Bitcoin skyrockets, because everyone figures out that it's not gold, it's Bitcoin. Gold. And I have gold. I don't have I don't have negative things to say about gold, but it doesn't even keep up with inflation, or it hasn't. It hasn't for a long time, and that's its job. Its job is to hedge inflation. And the other thing about gold, and I don't think people think about this, gold has an inflation rate. And the inflation rate of gold is higher than the inflation rate for Bitcoin. So everyone, the inflation rate for Bitcoin is well known. It's the issue. It's how many Bitcoin are given out as rewards for every block that's solved, which is determined by the hash rate, which are the difficulty, which halves every 4 years. So you know that there's only going to be 21 million. You know the issuance rate. You know the circulation at any point in time along that 100-year timeline. Gold has an inflation rate of around somewhere between 3 and 5%. So that's how much gold is pulled out of the ground every year, and it's harder to know how much will continue to be pulled out, or if somebody makes a big discovery that would increase its inflation rate. So I would say that I prefer math over gold. NATO Secretary General threatens response if the Finland pipeline was sabotaged. Well, somebody said that it was sabotaged. I don't remember if it was Finland or Estonia. Those are the two countries connected by that pipeline, and it was rendered inoperable yesterday. And one of those governments said by external forces. So that's not a natural thing. That's all I can say about that. Tesla is building a bunker-like structure in Texas to house its Dojo supercomputer. The supercomputer will be used to control the company's AI software and also to sell cloud services to other companies. So I have a Tesla, and it has AI. It knows how to drive itself. And the reason that it knows how to drive itself is because it's been trained using this Dojo supercomputer. And I don't know the exact numbers, but every single Tesla on the road can report back when it's on autopilot. It reports back any driver interruptions that were made because autopilot wasn't working the way it should have. All that gets fed into the Dojo supercomputer, so they get all these anomalies every day from the real world, and they build it into their models. And then this Dojo supercomputer can simulate millions and millions of miles of driving every day. So you want to know how fast it'll take for artificial intelligence to become better drivers than AI? That's how fast. It's like putting a 16-year-old kid with good judgment and good intentions and a blood alcohol level of 0 into a car so that they learn how to drive, and they're driving millions of miles a day, and all their experience is shared with millions of other drivers, and they're benefiting from that and giving feedback in real time. That's Dojo. It's a big deal. Huge deal. I would say that Tesla is the #1 AI company on the planet. I would say that. I would say that. I would say that what they're doing is more difficult and has more consequences than what OpenAI is doing with ChatGPT. And by the way, you know that Elon Musk, he knows everything about ChatGPT. He knows the fundamentals. He knows the strategy. He knows how it was built, because he's the founder of OpenAI. He funded it. He was one of the first guys. He founded it. He funded it, and then as soon as they expressed commercial ambition, he excused himself from that project. Okay, Janet Yellen, who used to run the Federal Reserve, which is two lies for the price of one, because it's not a government agency, it's not federal, and they have no reserves of any consequence, says that now, instead of higher rates for longer, maybe it's lower rates for longer. And I don't know what this chart is, but it's probably related to the cost of servicing debt, the interest payments. You know what? I saw, it's hard to put the scale of debt into perspective. It's really hard. But a country like the US, which has, I don't know, $33 trillion worth of debt now, and that grows every day. These interest rates it's a tough situation for the Federal Reserve to handle, because one of their biggest customers is the US government. The US government constantly has to refinance all their debt. So the debt that the US government has is generally short term. It renews, it has to be refinanced every couple of years. Well, they've been accumulating all this debt with essentially 0% interest rates for more than a decade. Well, now the interest rates are almost 5%. And the interest rate on those payments that they have to make when they roll this debt over just goes ballistic, parabolic. And here's an example that I saw. I don't know if I'll get these details exactly right, but I saw an article that said that from the time that the United States was founded, or some date thereafter when we settled on a dollar, or there's some date, but it's a long period of time. From that period of time until I don't know, 1976, something like that. The amount of debt grew for the government from 0 to $800 billion. Okay, it took over 100 years to go from 0 to $800 billion of debt. I think that I'm saying this right. Now, recently, in the last week or so, it took 18 days to add 800 billion more. Okay, so you go from what used to take more than 100 years, now it takes 2.5 weeks. That is not sustainable. What else do we have? Oh, it ain't Gucci. So I mentioned this on one of my videos about 6 months ago, or maybe it was less. It was about billionaires. Somebody had done an activity and they said comment with a billionaire, and I think at that time the richest guy on the planet was the guy who owns LVMH. And I think that's Louis Vuitton, Hermes, I don't know, Gucci. It's this luxury brand. And when I saw that name on that list, I said, that's the one that won't last very long. There's a headline: shares tumble as the luxury bubble unravels. That was an easy prediction. Oh, this is surprising. The UK Home Secretary warns that waving the Palestinian flag could be a criminal offense. I don't know. Aerosol says gold and silver is manipulated hard. That is true. That is, it's manipulated in the paper markets. So you can trade gold and silver without there actually being proof of possession of gold and silver. And I think that it's a pretty easy argument to make that gold and silver are rehypothecated. And what that word means is that the same ounce of gold is pledged as collateral for multiple different loans, and there are many different claims on every single ounce of gold. That does not happen on the blockchain. It happens above the blockchain. It can happen above the blockchain. That's how layer 2 centralized exchanges or lending platforms that use crypto, that's how they can go bust, by rehypothecation and leveraging. He also says these are vaguely disturbing truth pills. The only winning move is to not play and thinking it's necessary to pick sides. I totally agree with that. I don't have a side. I think there's a lot of tribalism around news. I think that politics are, you can see in society where the adoption of science starts to overtake the adoption of religion. You can see that that's happening, and I think that you could also take a look and see if whatever losses religion has in society against science, that those people who are abandoning religion or just not adopting it in the first place, generationally, that they may be moving some of the focus, that some of the beliefs that they would have placed in religion, they start to place in government and in politics, and then that makes it tribal, right? So I don't pick sides. When I read articles like this, I'm thinking of the second order effects. I'm thinking about what happens as a result, and I probably think of it mostly in economic terms, as long as there's no kind of safety issue or danger issue from one of these events. And a lot of these do have that, but I try to kind of elevate myself above the tribalism to think, okay, it is what it is, what happens as a result. And so I can read news like this without getting worked up. Okay, so we are almost at 2 hours, and I'll shut it down when we hit that 2-hour mark. So if you guys have anything that you want me to look at or say, let me check the chat. Nothing happened in chat on Tangled, and I think I'm all caught up on chat on YouTube. So I don't know what you guys think. I would consider this a success. We broadcast. Technically it worked. The same way that I record my daily videos, I just used OBS and told it to stream instead of record. That worked. Sound worked. Danny mostly behaved himself. He didn't say anything to me offline that was astonishingly offensive and inappropriate, which is a huge risk at all times. Good job, Danny. We spun the wheel. I don't know. We wrap it up. Okay, nothing in chat. Oh, Crypto Guide, FTG. 10x is running. I started it. I normally don't announce it. I like it to be a surprise. I normally don't announce it, but I did turn it on during the stream, and it is running right now. And how it starts is I click some buttons. That's how it starts. Oh, thanks GeoMC57. Thanks for showing up. I hope you have a good night. Thank you, Aerosol. I will end the stream. See you guys.